been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
And welcome back. That's the scene here. Still overcast. Rain has deserted us for the moment. It is quarter time, and so far so good for the visitors. With the breeze, they kick 3-3-21. Payneham at 2 behinds. I'm trying to wrap up some scores. We thought, did I give Brighton a chance against Port District?
I think you did. What's the score, Phil?
38-2.
In favour of?
Port District.
Yep. And knowing the condition of the Brighton Oval, that's probably game over already.
I'm surprised anyone can kick 6 goals in a quarter at that ground. That is something else.
But after Port District's effort last year, week out here with 19, maybe they're just finding their real mojo, Phil, late in the season. They've been a bit up and down, Port Districts, but can they challenge Glenelg?
Well, they certainly had a mojo, and it was certainly by being first out of the blocks last week. The big relegation game between Broadview and Tea Tree Gully. I think this helps Prince Alfred. Tea Tree Gully 27, Broadview 14. So a 13-point lead to Tea Tree Gully at the home of the Tigers. The team, of course, that we both thought would win that game. So I'm certainly trailing 0-3 on those. I'm going to see if I can dig up one more score, Adam. Any thoughts from your end on how this one's travelling?
Yeah, I was impressed with Prince Alfred, Phil. Payneham had a lot of field position early in the quarter, but just weren't able to score. They didn't look dangerous at all, really, inside 50. They might have to just went with the traditional forward structure with their tools and big-bodied players. They might have to look at some more ground-level presence up there. But it was all Prince Alfred in the second half of the quarter. They kicked an early goal through Garrels, an early nomination for the player of the day, but they defended grimly. I thought Siebels and Pitt off half-back were outstanding. They repelled. They got the ball into an open inside 50 where they've just looked super dangerous. And to be honest with you, Payneham probably dodged a bullet with 3 or 4 late shots from Prince Alfred, missing the big stick. So if they had that 4th or 5th goal, it should be a long way back. But this is a good opportunity for Coach Cheney to just get his charges in. Like I said, they've had 12 inside 50, centre breaks are even. They're not far off of it, but they need to kick the first goal here and put Prince Alfred just under a little bit of pressure, Phil. They haven't been under any pressure as yet.
Yep. The other score that I was able to chase down, St. Peter's and Glenunga. Glenunga leading by 7 points, 20-13. So if nothing else, St. Peter's have made it competitive in the first quarter. I think for Saints to avoid relegation, they need to find a win, and they've got 2 of the top 3 teams as their last 2 games. So good luck to them in that encounter. Any changes tactically you would suggest?
No.
Now that you're changing ends?
No, like I said, I'm looking at the Payneham forward line and wondering, in these conditions, Viney, Wagner, Hodges, all the big players up the front, is it going to be their day? We see that at the Prince Alfred end field, it's those medium forwards, Garrels, Brazel, that look dangerous. So I'm a big one on Jackson Martin, maybe playing inside 50. He's playing on a wing at the moment, but I'm not sure he can do maximum damage there. I think he's a low possession impact player. He's a guy that could kick 3 or 4 off the ground. But let's see what happens. It's only quarter time, Phil. Long way to go.
That's it. We're just a quarter of the way through, and we haven't seen what Payneham can do with the breeze at their backs. And the first piece of play will end up with Jackson Martin getting a bit muddy there in the middle. And we'll try again. What a beautiful read. Beautiful tap. Kelly to none. Payneham, well, I don't know if you're going to record that as an inside 50, Adam.
No.
No? Okay.
51.
The judge has spoken. All of ball must go across the 50-metre arc to be counted. I reckon that might be an inside
There's
50.
one.
Oh,
No,
yes.
I'm not counting that.
You're not counting that
mark
either?
the ball at 52.
Okay.
So we've seen Pitt start the quarters at half back. He went to half forward in the first quarter, halfway through the quarter. Let's see what he does this quarter.
Neil got the hand pass out. The kick dainty, not far enough. Fernando manages to weave well. Looking for Campbell. He's desperate for that ball. It keeps eluding him, though. Back to Nutt, who started this. From 55 into the pocket. Will it sit? No, it won't for Wagner. PAC want the free. Payneham is saying, but I touched it. And I think it's going to be a throw in.
I think if they're uncertain, they'll throw it in.
Yeah.
Payneham haven't started this game all that well, have they? But Nunn has. He's had a lot of the football so far, Phil, in the first quarter.
Yep.
But they have decided to give the free kick.
Yep.
Just went to the VAR replay.
That's it. They went back and they couldn't have a hot spot today on a day like today, could
they're
they?
like Prince Alfred, they're pretty honest guys. If he said it was a free kick, it was a free kick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that working. A kick out of danger momentarily, but Sanzo a big thump. It spills. Anthony Giannini into some space. Here's a chance for the Falcons to get their first goal if it sits for Costanzic. It didn't. Princes have the numbers. Clear momentarily. In fact, Ian Allo, one of those two Redmen colliding.
He's a little bit sore, Ian Allo, but he will get to his feet.
Yeah.
Want to cop one in the midriff, Phil.
You do feel a little bit better when you've got the footy in your hand. I think
Yes.
once he kicks it, he'll start to feel it a bit more. Unloads on the Sharon. Sanzo the pick-up. Manages to get around Perks. 2-1 Princes. The thump will come in board. Here's
Great
our
pick-up.
long sleeve man in Spence. Can't miss him.
He's been another prime mover as well. We've mentioned him about the
That
long
Spence.
sleeves, but that was a dry day pickup, Phil. What players sometimes don't do is he slowed down in the last step to make sure he got it in his hands, and he's hit Viney with a beautiful kick inside 50. Well played,
Viney,
Spence.
a goal last week, a goal the last time they met from 49. Has missed to the near side. So I almost wonder, Adam, if that breeze has a little bit... I mean, we're not a north-south ground to start off
No.
with, but it's not from goal to goal. It is heading a little bit towards us. We saw that when the rain...
But
we had to get some covering on our cameras.
We've seen the set shots to the left of screen carry easily, though, Phil, haven't we?
Yeah.
That's even there. He's 48, 49 metres out, Viney. He's cleared the line easily.
Either they're all slicing them a little bit, or there is a touch of a side breeze to it. In and out of the hands of Hugo Kelly. Here's a beautiful chance for the Falcons. Giannini's kick. Missed the target. Wagner's pick up. Tackled straight away. Got the hand pass. Oh, that's an interesting one. I wouldn't mind seeing the replay on that, although I don't see a lot of remonstration from Trinorden. Let's see him get...
Yeah, one of
okay.
those ones, isn't it?
We
He's
were
a big,
we were on the wrong angle.
He's a big, clumsy man sometimes, Trinorden. And who is it? Rahui. How are we saying that name, Phil? Work with me.
Rahui.
Got in low, got first to the footy. Fair decision.
So Rahui's kicked 9 goals, 13 games. Can he kick the Falcons first today? He started it right. Will it come back? No, it won't. I thought he'd actually... He lined that up pretty much right. I lined it up. But that's why I'm up here, not down there. 4 behinds to Payneham. Princes are 3-3, 17-point margin. It's been all Payneham in terms of field position
It certainly has,
in
Phil.
the opening 5 minutes.
3 inside 50s to zip thus far.
Good. Brazil, a long way from his usual forward home. Little bit lucky. The ricochets ended up with Prince Alfred. Pritchard, they're trying to hand pass through. I'm not sure that's really the day for this. Surprisingly, it comes unstuck. Spence kicks quickly. Pitt at ground level. How's that for a hand pass from ground level straight to a teammate in Pritchard? He manages to keep his footing and poise. Ends up with McNamara. He goes out to the open player inside 50. Beautiful movement by Princes. All started with the coach.
He saw him out there, McNamara, with a great peripheral vision. I thought he was going to blaze away. Can they find another little chip pass and get a shot on goal?
Well, looks like he wants to take a shot, which is audacious. There's no way. Although there's, yeah, that was audacious. And William Charlick had 3. If he was going to mark that, he would have had to have beaten 3 Falcon defenders.
Yeah, they'd be disappointed with that entry. It would have been impossible to clear the line from that position.
Which usually means that there was a couple of loose Prince Alfred players somewhere in forward 50, maybe. We'll never know. Falcons ball, ends up with Campbell. Goes down. Got the hand pass out to Nunn. Beautiful little back tap. Oh, not a beautiful little back tap.
Called it a throw, Tony. Not sure about that. Little bit stiff there, Nunn.
Can you actually throw with the back of your head?
No, I don't think you can.
Okay. Yeah, anyway. Can Prince Alfred make some use of this? Ollie Clark by the boundary. But no, Jackson Martin clearing kick momentarily. Bit of a flow from Campbell. Backs it up with a soccer kick. I reckon soccer kicks might be at a season high this afternoon. Chris Stanzik sends it forward. Battling the coach in pit. Fascinating one-on-one battle. Who won that, Adam?
Yeah, that's Pitt will be happy to get the ball up and reset the defence behind. But great pressure here. Payneham are pressing, aren't they? They must get the next goal.
I guess as a defender, a neutral situation is not a score, and therefore that's a win.
Yes.
Wilkin. High kick down the balcony wing. Pitt bumped off the ball before he could get the kick. Ollie Clark swung around.
Pay the sling, Phil.
Yeah. Well, he got the full 360 panorama of the oval. At least we know the balcony crowd's watching the contest.
And we've got a little, we won't call it a square up, but Giannini's won the little tug of the jumper free kick at halfback.
It has been known to happen, hasn't it?
Occasionally.
So John Giannini. I wonder how many times that's happened. Giannini. And Anthony just ran himself into trouble there.
Even no disputing that decision from the Payneham faithful up here, Phil. That was certainly holding the ball. It was a little bit of a scrap. And I think Giannini's playing it smart, trying to burn some time here while his defenders get back. So well done by him. And now he's got to kick into a bit more congestion.
Brazil showing us the new uni, the midriff style.
Stuck with the mud.
It's a hot footy at the goal line. Just seems to be a lot more black and white. And I thought for a second that McKenzie was going to kick it through, but no, concede nothing, especially when you've got ground to make up. And then he gets spotted up a teammate way back on the half.
Payneham's turn to be defending grimly now, isn't it? Soaking up this pressure, not allowing Prince Alfred to get that next goal.
So with Spence crossing it over, this is the key one, which was marked by Jackson Martin just as well, because there was a lot of red in fast pursuit. A little bit of open space for the Falcons to work with towards half forward. Anthony Giannini kept his feet. You have to do that at this ground. Beautiful work by Rahui, who can mark it on the run. Ho-ho! Joseph Kristanzik. I mean,
shouldn't underestimate the courage of that mark, Phil. He did not take his eyes off the football, did he, Kristanzik?
He could have run into anything.
Could have been coming, and he wanted that ball. So well done to him. That's a great mark.
Yep. And in the end, he just had Patrick Singleton as a little.
And he actually juggled it closer to goal as well, Phil. So that was the smarter part of it as well. But Payneham need a goal here. They've soaked up the pressure, taken the ball down the other end.
They've had the best by far of this first 10 minutes, but have so little to show for it.
And not sure. Oh!
See, that's why I wait. I've been here long enough this year to know that there are some goal umpires, until they move those little fingers.
Those goalposts, when they're not super high, he was a bit uncertain. But the Payneham player did not celebrate, Phil, so that's always a bit of a giveaway from mine.
True. Often if I'm calling in the broadcast van, occasionally with that wall, I look at the player reaction.
Yeah.
But I can't actually see the ball myself.
We haven't seen a lot of McKenzie so far. I wonder if Prince is just putting a little bit of attention just to make sure he can't get those loose balls with his kicking boot going inside 50s. Found a target here.
So sitting with Viney, who, Payneham have had their opportunities. Couple of very gettable set shots.
They've
with
looked
the
more
win.
dangerous this quarter, though, haven't they, Phil?
Yeah.
Even though they haven't scored, they've looked like they will score.
Long distance kick, looks strong off the boot, but it's a little bit further to home from there than it, because we're looking straight down it looks like a short distance.
It's a bit like the Prince Alfred entry, Phil. It looks good, but to kick a goal from 55 out and clear the line, very few players can actually do it. And that was a risky ball into the middle.
A little bit worried here if
Looks like Searles has got it.
Prince's move it down, get a rare inside 50 and goal, and all that hard work wasted. 11 and a half gone. 4th versus 6th, and at the moment it's 6th with the first 3 goals.
Getting plenty of the footy coach pit again today, isn't he, Phil? He's had a great season personally.
Yeah.
Playing great football at his age.
He's been playing forever now.
He'd be early 30s, I think,
Yeah.
Pitty. He's been around for a long time. Played league footy at the Bay almost 10 years ago. Sometimes when you take on the playing coach role, your game takes second fiddle, but I think he's had one of his best personal seasons this year as well. He's really stood up for his team, forward of the ball and behind the ball, wherever his team's needed.
Sits by the boundary. Princes bring it forward, just overcooked it a little bit. Looking for Hugo Kelly. And in the end, marked by Mackenzie, and we've got a stoppage because there is an injured Falcon on the field.
Just behind the play. Not sure what happened there, Phil. Was on the
And
kick.
it's the ruckman and Nick Kelly.
He's a little bit sore and he's holding the left knee, so that is not a great sign, is it?
No, it's
And he looks a little bit upset about it too. Not just in pain, but almost upset at what's happened. So let's hope that that's not as bad as it looks, Phil.
Yeah, because it doesn't look good.
And they don't have a lot of ruck stocks either, do they,
No.
Payneham? So for their structure, he's an important player. So looks like the players are getting together. We're going to have a bit of a stoppage here with the stretcher, which is unfortunate, Phil.
Yeah, it is. But something that we've seen a reasonable amount of in recent weeks. Can tell you they're into the final quarter of the Div 4 Women's Grand Final. Mitcham versus Scotch Old Collegians.
Well, that's a battle of the eastern suburbs, Phil, isn't it?
2 near neighbours. All these grand finals this week, and I assume next week's grannies will be at St. Peter's.
They'll have the 5th quarter at the Ed, those two clubs. Look out.
Yeah. Right now it's Mitcham, 3-6-24. Scotch 1-1-7. That is 7 minutes into the final quarter. So Mitcham maybe about 15, 20 minutes away from claiming the Div 4 flag, which is fair enough. They have been the best side all year. They sort of had a battle with Modbury going for a while, and then they beat Modbury in the last round to get the minor premiership, and then Modbury went out in straight sets. Earlier today, and unfortunately it is a stretcher case here at Payneham, earlier today in the women's Div 5 grand final, Edwardstown in the upset. 2-13. Usually you kick that in a grand final, you end up on the wrong end, but Athelston, who are unbeaten going in, can manage just 1-1-7. 18-point win to the Towns, who are being relegated from Div 2 to Div 3, but their women have claimed the premiership. And in the Div 6, this was on at about 10 o'clock this morning, or started then. The Rams of Marion, who, I use the term, I guess accurately, rampaged through Div 6, beat the Raiders of Houghton 7-4-46 to Houghton 1 straight 6-40. There is one more women's grand final coming up. It is streamed on Filming Footy. Later today, that is a 3:30 start, so about 25 from now. Eastern Park and Angle Vale, where I think Eastern, well, actually Brighton were the minor premiers in that one and went out in straight sets.
It's interesting now. So Prince Alfred went through this last week, didn't they? They obviously had the long stoppage in their game too, and it's obviously we feel for the injured player, but the players that are remaining, it's a mental game now, Phil,
Yep.
isn't it? Actually keeping focused on the job at hand. The Payneham players will be, disappointed and worried for their teammate, but at the end of the day, they have to try and keep warm, firstly, and then because you don't know how long the game's going to stop. It looks like the stretcher is moving now. Yeah. Interesting to see which team settles first when we do get underway.
What's also interesting is that normally it's the team in front that doesn't like to have the stoppage because they have the momentum. But it's fair to say that Payneham have had the momentum in this second quarter, just haven't put it on the board.
They've played much better and looked more dangerous inside 50, haven't they? They've just kicked in accurately in front of the big sticks. A couple of set shots they'd love to have back. But yeah, they're still well and truly in this game, but they certainly don't want to concede the next goal to Prince Alfred, do they?
No. The other game that's of real interest in Div 1 is the battle between 9th and 10th and how that wins and how that plays out for Princes and the others. Well, at the moment, it's a Teacher Gully 5-5-35, Broadview at 2-4-16. And he still looks, unfortunately, to be in a fair bit of pain. That's at the 18-minute mark. So for Nick Cunningham, Jordan Neal, who's been battling with him, comes over and gives him a bit of solace.
They're probably one of those old school duels in the modern footy field. There's not a lot of one-on-one stuff. You know, defenders rolling up, forwards running out, but the ruckman going at it still an old-fashioned duel, isn't it? And Kelly and Neil were certainly going to go at it for 120 minutes today. So I'm interested to see how Payneham do restructure. Do they look at something different? Do they throw Wagner into the ruck? And he won't necessarily win a lot of taps, but his mobility around the ground could be potentially an issue for Neil. So I'm interested to see what they do upon the restart here. Yeah.
Well, obviously this quarter will go an extra 6 or 7 minutes longer than planned. Yeah, we have not seen a goal this quarter.
Looks like by Micah we've had 7 or 8 minutes here, Phil, so it's going to be a long quarter, isn't it?
Yeah. All we've seen so far is 3 behinds kicked, all to Payneham. As the stretcher has made its way to the side here. And great to see, well, no, it isn't, let me rephrase it. It is never great to see it, but it was good to see in the circumstance all the various helpers there from the various clubs getting together.
Let's hope for some good news during the week when he scans that. Bit of pain at the moment. Yep. Let's hope it comes up.
Work from Sports Exercise Clinic. We'll have a little bit more business coming their way.
And now kick to kick, McKenzie, kick out, turnover, and straight back to him. So take 2 for McKenzie in the back pocket here for Payneham.
So let's see if we can do a little bit better second time. I mean, be fascinating to see who comes out of this break of play the fresher and back into it. Game delicately poised. You feel that Payneham are trying to get into it, but until they get that first goal, it's all wasted effort. There's the force. That's a brave man sitting there on the park bench with the weather that we've seen today.
If it doesn't rain, great spot.
Yeah.
If.
Oh, look, here's our commentary team. 2 galas. Neil. Well, the ruck tap. See how he goes now with a different opponent. Princes will go forward. That, I think, is an inside 50. Please kick it further so we can prove it. Yeah, that's good. And unfortunately, the kick, looking for McNamara in the pocket.
They've had their chances too, Phil, Prince Alfred. They've had their 1 extra inside 50 in the quarter, which might surprise. Yeah. PNU have been efficient when they've gone inside 50 with shots on goal, but PAC have just muffed a couple of chances themselves to kick the next goal.
It's like they feel there's something secret about that scoreboard pocket. That's where they've had all of their inside 50s.
And we still haven't seen a goal to the right of screen yet in this match, have we?
No.
And it's not blowing a gale either. It's just been tricky that end.
There's a little bit of breeze at the higher level, but the lower level trees, where the kicks normally are, barely moving.
It looks like Hodges might be in the ruck here. You can see on the first stoppage after the interval, Neil straight away wanted to grab the ball out of the ruck and use his strength. So he is up against Hodges here, who's more of a jumping jack than a contested ruckman like Neil, who's a contested beast. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, so Hodges almost did that like an offensive lob. He just got the ball there momentarily. He just got in Neil's way.
Which is all you got to do. Create a contest and let the guys on the ground go to work.
Macaulay, nice pick up. Kick, not so good, but Prince Alfred a chance. Charlick.
Great tackle.
He was outnumbered 3-1 before. This time spun around, and that is, and that's how you do a spin around tackle. You let the player get out of it, having been spun around.
Fantastic tackle by Nye there. He just held an arm so he couldn't get the handball away.
So rewind from this quarter. Blake Doddson's kick into space. Bounce is critical. It works. Actually works very well. Spence and Haynes in their different jumpers did it beautifully. Now with Wagner from outside 50. Look at this. Surely they've got to get a goal out of this, Payneham. Rahui looks up 20 metres out. Kicks it right at the goal umpire. You don't miss if you can manage that. And you can feel the sigh of relief on the Payneham Oval balcony
So
as the Falcons have a goal.
Great vision by Tommy Wagner there. But that goal was set up by Spence, who looked like there was going to be a stoppage on the wingfield, but he just had the strength to release the handball, and then the overlap happened. So don't underestimate the role that Spence played in that, the long sleever here today. He's been really good around the football, great strength to evade the tackle, great vision by Wagner, and a great goal for Payneham. 3 of the 4 goals today, Phil, in the conditions have started from the D50 to the forward 50. So we've seen some great transition passages of play, despite the low-scoring nature and the conditions we've got.
Yep. Not surprised we're in time on and it's a 4-goal total score. Just glad we got one in the second quarter. And again, it's going to be another clearance to Payneham. Kicked around. The Princes defend that. Now they got a chance. And there's a run on which just missed the target for Sparkle. If he'd have come clean, he might have got it, run into an open goal. Hodges with the kick. No mark taken. It's right by the boundary. Will go over before Kristanzik could do something creative with it.
How quickly the game changes, Phil, with 1 goal. And now Payneham, and then they get the centre clearance, and it's pressure all on Prince Alfred now. Just with that one passage of play and straight kick. Seems to have changed the game straight away.
The thrower's got a lob about 30 to 35 metres out from the Payneham goal. Kicking with, well, they're certainly kicking to the scoring end, and they've probably got another maybe 10 minutes of use with it. Pritchard went to kick it off the ground and had a bit of an airy. Pitt had to go and get it. I'll make sure Jed Spence didn't run away with it.
See if Nunn and Spence can go to work in here, get in low, win the football, win a free kick or shovel a handball out to a running teammate.
Wagner had the right intent. Just
Here he is.
Missed the ball. Spence's kick. Again, don't mind the idea, but the execution was lacking. No score. 3-3 to 1-5. In favour of the visitors. Catalano manages to get an inside 50 out of that without actually having a disposal. Another stoppage. So have you noticed any difference in how the rucks are going at it here? Now that they've got used to each other.
Now, with the use of Wagner and Hodges in the ruck, they're much more mobile players, Phil. So what you've got to look out for is their possessions around the ground. So Wagner already set up the previous goal. Hodges is certainly more mobile than Neil around the ground. So let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, Neil had no trouble taking care of Wagner in that last ball up.
In a game, Phil, when there's so much congestion around the ball, unless Neil can grab it and get a really big 50-metre kick going his way, he's just got to make sure that when the ball's in dispute, he's got to find his opponent and not let them run amok around the ground.
It's in that direction at the moment. Neil had front position, but not as frontal position as Charlie. Looking for Brazel. Man with the shades on the far side there, enjoyed the footy all by himself.
He's played a great role today, Brazel. He's normally a sort of a stay-at-home full forward, Phil, but he's certainly more playing that centre-half forward role, outlet kick for his team and letting the smalls come in behind him. A great role for his team, I reckon he's playing today.
You get a little bit bored if you were the stay-at-home forward.
Yeah, you might want to get up and amongst the action.
Oh, we don't have the ibis today. Now, what kind of bird is that?
No idea. A bin chicken.
No, that was the ibis. So it's the yellow-beaked something.
No worries, Bill Laurie. It's not a pigeon, is it?
Wendy.
See a good inset mark here from Searles.
Been a bit between the 50s in the last minute or so. This quarter will go long due to the stretcher case earlier for Nicholas Kelly. Brazel, more your traditional position. And this is, I think, the first serious shot at anger Princes are going to get a goal this quarter.
Yeah, they have peppered away at times, haven't they? But they haven't looked as dangerous as they did in the first quarter. They've kicked into a lot of congestion. But this is what Brazel needs to do. He's a great set shot. 50 metres isn't is well within his repertoire. Let's see if there's any breeze field that might just hold this up a bit, because we still haven't seen a goal, have we, to the right of screen?
No, and this will be right on it, because we have seen ones from 50 drop a little short. This will be from 45. Actually, 49. And it's going to drop short, even though it carried the distance.
Yeah, he didn't strike that as well as he might like, Phil. A little bit of a helicopter drop punt there. Didn't quite flush it like he normally can.
Yeah.
Mackenzie
Mind
with
you,
the kick out.
for not, I mean, he did go low with it, but for not getting fully hold of it, it's doing a long way. Speaking of a long way, Spencer's kick, trying to get some penetration, get down the other end of the ground quickly. It sits nicely for Viney. He wheels around towards centre half forward, and nicely done by Macaulay. Would have been a bit under pressure there, Will Macaulay.
That was a great mark by Macaulay. A lot of pressure there.
And out to Jolly. Jolly says, let's just calm the farm, boys. We have an 11-point lead at halftime. Surely can't be too far away.
So when you're in that position like Macaulay is, if you don't take the mark, Phil, you generally lose your feet and the ball's on the ground, and then it's trouble. So it's a fantastic mark by him.
And there's a forward about to run onto it.
Yes. Great mark there by Neil.
So he gets that point for around the ground work. I think at the bottom of that was Spence, who was wrapped up pretty quick. Quarter's gone 27. I reckon we had about 7 minutes for the stretcher, so probably heading into time on now, but just the one goal kicked, so it's just time on for stoppages, really. Catalano momentarily in the path of Christanzig, a long way from home. Works it nicely through Rahui. Through the back of the pack, where the defenders are going to be spot on. Wagner gets rid of the defender. Not sure if they had the ball in doing that, but umpire says play on. Snap on goal. I think that's Christanzig. It is. And having worked so hard to get there first, that one was a little bit on the easier side. That was the key bit there. Wagner getting rid of the one defender. Then they sort of had some numbers. Lovely little work by Campbell as well to get the handball out.
And a nice finish as well. And like I said, as soon as Payneham got that first goal, Phil, the game changed, didn't it? It felt like at 3-0, Prince Alfred just had that nice little cushion. But as soon as you kick one in a low-scoring game and then get another one, the whole game's changed really fast. Payneham, it's probably been their quarter just, hasn't it? They look much more dangerous going inside 50.
Yeah, there's your hard, ultra, zero carb scoreboard. Back to 5 points.
We might have a football lost out the back here.
How could you lose a football down that quarter? I don't think he kicked it that hard, but oh well.
Might get a nice dry football out there, Phil.
Not well. The ball they might have used for the second half is about to get an early baptism. This will just add more time to the half.
We have a 35-minute quarter.
You didn't have anywhere to go tonight, did you, Adam?
I am. I'm going to the showdown in the box, Phil.
Oh,
so can't be here all night. 2nd versus 15th tonight, Phil. It's a big build-up for 2v15, isn't it?
Showdown. I mean, there it's...
Crows have won
as
the
a
last 3
lover
or 4.
of
So.
local footy and Sandful, I will still always concede that the Throwdown is the greatest South Australian sporting spectacle
it should
these
be a
days.
good game of footy tonight.
Doesn't mean there aren't others.
We've got a good game of footy here, Phil.
We have. Not sure about the spectacle, but both teams have had their chance.
Great
and right
pick-up.
now, momentum lies with the home team Falcons. The pass from Sparkle out to Spence. It's within scoring territory. A quick kick out finds McNamara. Now they're going to run it out, the Red Men. Looking for Charlick. Who was that who came through?
That was Hodges.
That was Hodges. Not sure the ball was the intention. Thankfully didn't make any contact.
It's been pretty good this quarter, Mackenzie, hasn't he? Didn't call
He
him a lot
has.
early, did we? But he's been a real brick wall at halfback.
Yep. So Prince Alfred 1 behind for the quarter. Payneham have kicked 2 goals, 3 and they're not done yet, although a mark there would have been handy. But they get a goal, they could take the lead. Just less than a kick in it.
That's a good mark there by young Charlick with the pack bearing down on him.
He's getting into the game. Pritchard's kick. The bounce eludes the 3 Falcons that were there waiting for it. Now it's Brazel versus Dodson. Jolly, he'll do something with it, and he does.
barely 15, but great composure. We haven't called him a lot, Hayden Jolly, have we, as the siren goes? Not as long as that we thought potentially. This is a big play now, Phil, isn't it? On the siren from 45 metres. Brazel, he's had a pretty good half, in my opinion. He's been in the game a lot. It's a tough day for tall forwards, but he's been in the game a lot. Can he reward himself with a straight kick?
Look, I'd have to say with most players, I would have my doubts, but this is probably the... If you had to pick a player from Prince Alfred, maybe Pity, but Brazel wouldn't be a bad second choice. I reckon the distance might befuddle him in the end. Gets some height to it and hits the post.
I think that hit the post, Phil.
Did.
Struck that nicely, though, didn't he?
He hit that post with a bit of power. It is still shaking. That is half-time, and we've got ourselves a footy game. Prince Alfred, 3-5-23. Payneham, 2-5-17. 1 goal in it. You're with Adam Jeffries and Phil Herder. We're going to take a break, get some scores, look at some stats. We'll come back in about 6 minutes' time to get you ready for a big second half. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League, thanks to Filming Footy.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
been housemates for what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
Yeah, there you have it. The scores happening at halftime. Looks like we've got the close one here at Payneham, where it is Prince Alfred 3-5, Payneham 2-5. Big relegation avoidance battle happening at Broadview. Teacher Gully led by 13 points at quarter time. lead by 13 points, and that game is now into the third quarter.
That's a big game, isn't it? Both clubs.
Would it be on the losing end of that one?
No, desperate to win, both clubs.
Brighton, last time they played Port District, went up to Largs and came away with a draw. They haven't scored a goal yet, and it's half-time.
Yeah, Port are just flexing their muscles at the right time of the season, aren't they? Big win out here at Payneham last week. Pre-season fancies, weren't they? They spluttered and stopped and started, won some games, lost some games. But for mine, they're the challenger to Glenunga. On their day, can get them.
And Spock, well, they are in 8th spot on the basis of percentage. And they would actually be hoping for a Tea Tree Gully win, because that would possibly keep them at 8th. What they can't afford to do is get thumped.
Yep.
Because they've got to keep that, and it's about a 4-goal advantage over Broadview in terms of percentage. But they seem to be doing the job against Glenunga. Not too many teams have been trailing them by just 12 points at the halftime break.
Good effort thus far. Let's see what happens in the third quarter
and
of
look,
that game.
Glenunga do have a habit of demolishing teams late, as we've seen ourselves. So out of this one, surprisingly, a tale of 2 quarters. Prince's the first 3 goals, but Payneham walked themselves back into the contest late in the first and pretty much had their way in the second.
Yeah, I thought Payneham looked a lot better, didn't they, in that second quarter? I know they kicked the 2 goals. Inside 50s were relatively easy, but they just looked to the naked eye, looked more dangerous, didn't they? They looked like things were happening inside 50. They started to take a couple of marks, probably had a couple of set shots they'd like to have back, so they looked a lot more dangerous. And now, unfortunately, with the injury to their ruckman, they're going to be quite mobile around the ground now. So will that play into their hands? And who you feel is going to be the first team to kick a goal to the right of screen? That could be the telling factor in this game.
Be. Yeah, so it was Prince Alfred by 19. Now it's just them by 6 at the first break. Next week's games, looking ahead, Prince Alfred will finish off at home against Sacred Heart. Payneham hit the road to Webb Oval to play Glenunga. Good luck. Golden Grove and Tea Tree Gully, just as a game, is fascinating. The 2 northeast sides both in Division 1 for the first time. Tea Tree Gully will be playing for survival. Golden Grove, I think, will have an elimination final locked in. Port District and St. Peter's, I suspect possibly Port District could have the double chance locked in. St. Peter's playing for survival. You mentioned last year, same matchup, similar circumstance, and Saints pulled off the upset.
Port Districts have probably got more to play for this year, though, to maintain that third position. And Payneham feel, knowing that they're going to Webb Oval next week, today's game is more crucial then, isn't it? They've got to try and bank the points, don't they? Because
if they don't, they've
got to go to Webb and win.
They've got to back into the finals with 3 straight losses.
Yes, and that's not the form they'll want, and they'll probably lose 4th and have to go to Golden Grove.
Yeah.
So there's plenty on the line for both teams here. Like I said, if Prince Alfred can get the result here, they'll avoid the dreaded relegation, the dreaded R word. And if Payneham can get the win, it'll be huge in their build-up to hopefully hosting a home final in the first week of the finals.
Of course, today we've talked about the women's grand finals, wins to Marion over Houghton, Div 6. Edwardstown in an upset, 18 points over Athelston, and Mitcham defeated Scotch by 16 points in Div 4. Div 3, Eastern Park and Angle Vale. It's not too far from getting underway.
Good for Edwardstown, Phil. They've had a tough season in the men's football, so at least there's a happy club there.
Yep. And, of course, what we'll have by day's end is we'll have 10 of the 12 relegation spots across the men's sorted.
Yes, the lower divisions last round, isn't it?
Correct. So, Div 7 are already in playoffs, but they don't have relegation. Elizabeth in Div 6, Adelaide, Luther or Century United to join them. Blackfriars and West Croydon will go from Div 5 to Div 6. Paraka and Gazer from Div 4 to Div 5. CBCOC and Smosh, Div 3 to Div 4. Edwardstown from Div 2 to Div 3 to be joined by, could be Old Iggy's, could be Adelaide Uni, could be Foss.
There's a big I know that Adelaide Uni are up at half-time at Goodwood Oval in their fight to avoid relegation. So, yeah, big relegation battle in Division 2 today.
Well, Old Iggy's are in 9th, but they're playing Edwardstown.
Yes.
So either Edwardstown have got to win their first game, or Old Iggy's will win and survive.
Foss have to beat Athelston at Athelston, which is a tricky assignment. So, yeah, plenty of exciting footy happening around Adelaide today, Phil.
And all of that, provided I got a voice left tonight, will be on the Weekend Wrap, which will appear on the Adelaide Footy League Facebook pages tomorrow. And, of course, between the posts, Tommy Javor bringing you all the news, especially his in-depth Div 1 report.
And I noticed during the week that Tommy's even going to delve into the B and C grades leading into the finals as well. The B and C, which is fantastic, because we obviously the Division 1 competition gets the love, and then the matches of the rounds and the division specialists. But there's plenty of guys toiling away in the Bs and Cs, Phil. We've got to give them a bit of love too.
Yeah, absolutely. And as other games reduce, we have the capacity to try and do that. I think this year something like 29 premierships to be won across the A's, Bs, Cs and the women's. As mentioned, Marion, Edwardstown, Mitcham already have one trophy in the cabinet with more to come.
Well done to them. As we gear up for a big second half. It looks like it's cleared up somewhat, Phil. A little bit of a slippery deck. Sun trying to poke through.
Don't say it.
Come on.
Don't say it. I don't think there'll be any more rain for the rest of the day.
The only early one is Coach Pitt has put himself back to half-back. He's sort of played as a bit of a swing man at times today. And then am I seeing my man Jackson Martin just patrolling inside 50, Phil? I've been calling for that.
Okay.
I want to see if he can kick a goal or two, and because I think he's a slippery customer. Played quite well on the wing behind the ball, but can he do some damage forward of the ball? Let's see what happens.
Could it be the first team to kick a goal to the right of screen wins this game of footy? Neil with the first tap. I think that was Jolly getting down and dirty, getting the first hand pass. McNamara with the little tip. That is a throw. I won't argue with that one. And it will be Payneham who'll get the official clearance through. Not Spence, but with Mac Haynes.
One thing Payneham have done well in this game, Phil, that's now 6 centre clearances to 2. So they've just been a little bit on top in that regard.
So far, Neil's loss of his opponent hasn't come back to bite them too hard.
I'm just trying to see who his opponent is. It does look like Hodges is going to be the ruckman. So like I said, Hodges is a great mover and a great jumper. Neil will beat him in the wrestle. So if I'm Hodges, I'm standing 4 or 5 metres off and trying to get a bit of a run and a jump here if I can.
Okay, well, I can see Hodges and Neil's not too far away.
Just made a contest.
Yeah, they made a contest. And no easy possession
Matt
for
Nunn doesn't
Princess.
care who wins the tap, Phil. He'll just go get the ball.
Yep. In fact, it came to the front of the pack would have been a surprise to no one. Don't give that high.
Yeah, little slap around the top of the shoulder.
Okay. Yeah.
That's Spence, is it? He's played a great game, Phil. It's not just the long sleeves that I've noticed. He's had a great game so far.
Happy to hold up play for a moment, waiting for the right option to avail itself.
Risky kick on the turnover.
Yeah, not wrong. Plenty of red around this one. Sits with Ollie Clark to Jolly. Danger, danger, danger. McNamara, extra danger. Looking downfield, and what do you know? They found a target and they're going to get a shot on goal.
It was a risky ball from Spence, wasn't it? Like if it came off to Jackson Martin, they're away. But the turnover and the ball ends up with Jolly and McNamara, and that's trouble for Payneham if you turn the ball over and give Hayden Jolly the football. Great kick by McNamara, though. He saw Ironello on the fat side lead, put it to him beautifully, and he just had to run on and take the big chest mark. He's a left footer as well, Ironello, Phil, so it's a good spot for him.
Yeah. From here, it looks like an impossible kick, but I reckon it's a bit easier in reality. This for the first goal of the second half, and the first goal since the first quarter for Princes. No, has missed to the near side.
So his problems with the set shots, Ironello, he's just got that little bit of a lazy leg when he's in close. When he's out far, he does kick through the football. He's got to kick the ball the same. See if he can get involved in the game a little bit more in the second half.
Did you talk about how accurate Princes were? 3 goals from minimum inside 50. Since then, they've kicked 6 straight behinds. Hodges doing some of the around the ground work. But it will spill to Trinorden. To Ollie Clark, who's been a bit of a live wire. His kick, though, pretty easily taken by Brad McKenzie. He's proving problematic for Prince's scoring.
And again, the risky kick from Payneham. Surprising tactics. So that the first 2 D50 exits, they've gone for the Hail Mary kick up the guts. Hasn't worked thus far.
There's Pitt. He's put it up real high. And it should have been marked, but wasn't. Nicely escaped. Not 15. They're still going to get the shot. I think it's Ironello who's missed.
I think it was Hugo Kelly dropped the mark in the pocket there. He'll be disappointed with that because it skewed
and
off.
It was Garrels with the shot who has 2 goals to his name.
Let's see what Payneham choose to do from this position. Will they go the risky ball or will they kick it long to numbers?
Nothing risky going to Jonathan Giannini. He, though, is a little bit indecisive about it. Goes with a percentage kick towards the balcony. Oh, that's a good contested mark to Jackson Martin. They move it quickly through Spence. Love the attack from Viney. Spence the back up. It sets up Wagner. He's got a runner, but the hand pass was awry. Oh, dear. I get the feeling they should open a butcher's shop after that one. Yep. They get a goal in here would be a big play. Giannini gets a soccer, so threat momentarily relieved. And yeah, I'll tell you what, we're seeing a fair group of throw frees today. I mean, they're all there, don't get me wrong.
That one certainly was. There was the backhanded flick was a bit controversial earlier, but that was certainly the right decision.
Possibly just the angle the umpire had on it compared with us, I think.
Let's see what they can do here. A lot of numbers back. They've got their good ball users, Jolly and now Pitt. Can they find a little lead up inside 50?
Yeah. But we were waiting for Payneham to kick their first goal. Once they did, they were on their way. It's almost the same for Princes now. And they're certainly getting the most of their opportunities. So you'd think there's a huge gale.
Yeah, it's not. I know we're up in the stand and you don't always feel what's happening at ground level, but it's certainly not just a breeze advantage. Maybe they're going up the hill to the right, Phil. Who knows? But certainly
I guess there is some.
The teams going left look much more dangerous.
That's a long kick. It almost out the back. It just goes over the line.
Ollie Clark's looked dangerous in this second half so far, hasn't he? That's 5 inside 50s to 1, Phil. But haven't made them pay as yet.
8 behinds in succession. The margin is out now to 9 points, or 1 goal, 3. Dodson with the grab at defensive 50. Tries to draw the defender. Jonathan Giannini's kick. Looking in the Wagner direction. Now tapped on to Wagner. From 70. Campbell, will it sit? Will there be a goal to this end? It's kicked off the ground and it
He's got it,
is.
Yes.
I was going to wait.
I thought Neil maybe had just got there, Phil, but Campbell got there just in the nick of time, didn't he? Great transition goal. So Payneham have soaked up all the pressure at one end, all the inside 50s. They've had 2 forward thrusts that look dangerous.
That was the tap to Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner out the backs looked dangerous, hasn't he? And Campbell amongst the pigeons.
If it touches him, he got the kick, fair enough. I was going to say, if it touches a pigeon on the way through, is that a goal or a behind?
We might have to give that a goal potential. We'll check with Bill on that. But a big goal for Payneham, Phil. Prince Alfred looked like they had the running. But Payneham get the first goal of the third quarter. First goal to the right of screen.
I've made the call. First team to kick to that.
Yep, it's a big goal.
Is going to win this game, albeit Payneham still trailing.
And again, another goal from D50 to forward 50. We've seen some nice transition today.
We've seen some. We haven't seen many goals, Adam. That was the 6th. But the ones we have seen have been pretty good.
And we see Payneham get another centre clearance.
They do, but forward Invitey went on the lead and the kick from Catalano went to the back. Turnover though.
Strange kick again from, I say strange. I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to find a teammate and go out to the fat side, but super risky on a day like today, Phil.
Yeah.
Who's got the turnover at Sparkle.
Now this is the bit that I have a bit of a problem with, Adam. We've seen, we got the perfect view through it. It's easy up here, etc. You're not going to kick goals today from here, from the 50-metre arc.
I don't think you are. He's given it a bit of a roost, but it will drop short again.
And in the end, that wouldn't even be a contested mark. No. And that's just...
straight to Siebels, who gave it to him in the first place. So
I understand the first one, but that's been a common trend all day. See, this one's going to be too far out to score, so there's no way. So, okay, you got to get a runner. You're going to look for the pass. Yep. Okay, now we've got one that's in range for Viney.
Great use by Mackenzie. He's been a great player since quarter time, Mackenzie, by the way. He's had a lot of the ball.
Well, you're going to have your usual tricky decisions to make.
Yeah, it's going to be a close finish, isn't it, Phil? But that's good. We've had some good highlights despite the low-scoring nature of the game. But your point before is valid, Phil. When players are 49, they think they can kick it.
Yep.
When they're 52, they lay it off.
Exactly. It's like a $9.99 special.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like $10.
Viney's got a pretty big leg on him, Phil. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, to be honest, that one wasn't out of 50, but he got the distance without trouble. The accuracy was another issue.
I said it was clearing up, and it starts drizzling
Yeah.
again.
Oh, look, that was always going to happen. I'm waiting for the thunder and lightning now. Which makes the lead, I mean, the lead is only 2 points. You think if Payneham can keep it to this or thereabouts at the final break, they'll be coming home to the scoring end. And fair to say, since quarter time, they've been the better team. They've just had ground to catch up in the process.
Yeah, agree. Now it's game on, isn't it? That classic low-scoring Division 1 arm wrestle, Phil, halfway through the third quarter. Next goal's big.
Yeah. There may only be one more goal in the whole contest. You never know. Jackson Martin. They're keeping possession, Payneham, but they're just not going anywhere with it. Now they've got it. Anthony Giannini, high kick. They come from everywhere. Almost clunked. Campbell, he's had some moments of brilliance, including the last goal. Puts it into some open space. Sparkle has it. Had a little bit more time than he thought. He's got it back. Snap around the body to the hot spot. It skedaddles about 4 players, but Prince has had about another 3 deep to get through, which means there's Payneham players waiting at the 50-metre arc. One of those was Hodges.
Now the breeze is bringing the drizzle into the combox, Phil.
So not only is it raining again, it's raining more into us than it has all day.
We don't have a boundary rider here today, Phil, which is unfortunate. Looks like McNamara's just come off with a bit of an injury there for PAC, so we'll monitor that. Let's hope he comes back on the ground soon.
Yeah, look, Lockie is working for us today. He's just commentating at another ground with the women's and some other events on.
Bit short, aren't we?
We do want to be a commentator, especially here. But 30 metres out is just going to be a real slog home. 6 goals, 11 minutes into the third quarter. Can't say we've been bored by the game.
No, it's been, like I said, there's been plenty of open players. There's been 2 minute stoppages. It's just been a slippery footy, hard to finish.
I've seen worse games with more goals. It spills free. Kick around the body. There we go. 2 in a row to Payneham to that end. Chris Stanzik has it, and I think for the first time today, the Falcons are in front.
Had a couple of nice finishes, Kristanzik, hasn't he? That's his second snap. And a great finish there, and much needed by Payneham, who've been pressing. And like you said, Phil, since that initial 3-goal burst, probably have been the better team, and now they've finally found themselves in front. Can Prince Alfred respond? They need a centre clearance, Phil. Payneham have won in that stat 7-2. Big centre bounce here. Neil's got the domination in the tap. Can he find a Hayden Jolly and get a centre clearance?
Yep. Well, that gives you a little bit of a visual idea of weather conditions and the fact that there is a bit of a breeze about, but it's hardly gale force. But yeah, it's still blowing across the ground in front of us here. 12 minutes gone. Third quarter. Falcons have a 4-point lead and should get the centre clearance. Hodges will go with the soccer inside 50. I reckon they've had about the last 5 inside 50s as well, Adam, after Prince has had the most in the early stages of the quarter.
You are spot on, Phil. PAC had 5-1. Now it's 6-5 in favour of Payneham. The inside 50 count. Shallow entry here, but they've been looking dangerous.
No one can get a ruck tap. Open play towards the top of the square. Viney couldn't collect it at the time. Cavalry arrives. Wagner's kick went about 2 metres. Jolly lays the hard tackle. That's Spence at the bottom of it all. And we'll go again. 25 metres out.
We've got a free kick. Prince Alfred way. I thought there was going to be a one to Payneham. I think in the ruck duel there, Neil, just with too much strength. Wagner giving away the free kick.
Yeah. So Pitt in front of the scoreboard. One thing that I noticed about Prince's is they have not played in many close ones. It's something that we've talked about a lot with a Tea Tree Gully and a Golden Grove, how many close ones they've played. Prince Alfred have only had points. 2 in single digits. They've won both. This looks like it could well be one. There's an open goal beckoning if Payneham can pick it up. But there's a free kick off the ball.
Free kick behind the ball and 25 metres here. There's a little bit of work off the ball there, Viney and Siebels, Phil. I was watching that. They're just having a bit of a wrestle on the ground, and umpire didn't take too kindly to the Payneham player. So very much a relieving free kick there for Princessfield. They were under big trouble down there.
Absolutely. They're looking for Jolly over his head, out of bounds. Well, not out of bounds. It has the same effect. Payneham ball, except they can play on with it. Handball wasn't great. Jolly got it out. Turnover again. Back and forth ball at the moment by Hayes. He's going to return the favour, I suspect, although Schmidt, you're not going to see a lot of marks like that. Jolly's just on hands and knees. And we'll go out of bounds. Not a real time for great finesse skills. About to hit the 15-minute mark. Payneham have kicked the last two. In fact, they've kicked the only two of this third quarter. Princes have not goaled since the first.
And it was 3 early goals, wasn't it,
The first
Phil?
3.
Yeah, probably in the first half of the first quarter, wasn't it? They got the early running, so the viewers at home, they haven't scored a goal in over a half of football almost now. Payneham with the last 4 goals of the match. And just, if it's an arm wrestle, Phil, they're just starting to lean their way a little bit.
Knowing that they're coming home to what has proved to be most of the day the scoring end.
Look at the advantage of Hodges here, Phil. So he's just on the ground like a terrier, isn't he? And he's won 3 or 4 clearances himself by being the first player onto the ball. As they're away here, Prince Alfred.
Yeah, some quick hands to Pritchard. Sadly, Princes are in forward 50. They need a goal. It's Build out the back. Trying to grab it was Ianello, who's been the play a bit, but hasn't done damage on the scoreboard, and this will go out of bounds.
Yeah, Ianello's
really
playing
smart.
that.
They put padding on those light poles, by the way.
Yes, because that is very close. OH&S issue there, Phil. Ianello's playing that deep forward role. Team need him to bob up with a goal. He's had a couple of little one-on-ones this quarter. Hasn't been able to finish off. What he's trying to do as well, Phil, is he's trying to drag Mackenzie away from the play. Yeah. Mackenzie playing on the last line, but getting a lot of disposals up the ground.
That was very cleverly done by Jackson, but I thought, what are you doing playing on? It was just momentarily to draw the defenders and then hand pass out
and we've
to
got
a free teammate.
A falcon there, Phil, from the Prince Alfred player. Tried to mark it with his head.
Yep.
That'll come up on the replays during
Never
the week.
ever works. It only leaves a divot. Bit of a change in ruck for Payneham. On that occasion was Jackson Martin. And overhead kick towards that 50-metre arc. Beautifully done. Chris Stanzik, he's had a couple of magic moments.
It's been good, Chris Stanzik, hasn't he? He's super dangerous on the half-forward line.
In a day that is not suited forwards, he's been pretty good. So is this guy. Jed Spencer, if he can convert here, it's 5 unanswered to Payneham. It'll be 3 in this quarter.
It's a great play by Chris Stanzik, isn't it, Phil? Like, we've seen a lot of players blaze, but he's shown a bit of composure inside 50, hasn't he?
That was one where he could have said, it's odd 50, I'll have a crack. But he knew he wasn't going to have the distance. Jed Spence.
In the long sleeves, Phil.
Footy career, basically Payneham and Norwood, which is the Sandford club for most Falcon players. From 40, it's high, it's going to drop wide. 4-6 to 3-8 on the hard Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard. Margin extended to 4.
Just starting to get on top, aren't they? I know it's only a 5-point margin, and Prince is certainly in this game. They've taken 3 marks inside 50 this quarter, Phil. Looking dangerous.
Been a while since Princes, I think they've had 1 inside 50 in the last 6 minutes. And that one didn't last there too long. One thing they have been good at is have been good if they do get open, that they do go inside 50. McNamara is, well, he's managed to get it out. Maybe one hand pass too many from Wilkin on that occasion. Gives Payneham a chance to momentarily clear. Here's Spence, who was in the other inside 50 a moment ago. He's put in the space. This sets a task for Hodge, Hodges is absolutely up for it. The kick is effective. It finds Viney. Back to Hodge. The big men are doing beautifully. Hodges kick into some space. Who can keep their feet? It's Rahui to none at 50. Here's Spence, he's chicken man, he's everywhere. And he's got Sparkle in space. Sparkle could look at the open goal, set sail, and deliver! Tyler Sparkle, his first goal of the day. Payneham reward for effort. It's their biggest lead, and it's 11 points.
Just a reward for persistence now for Payneham, isn't it, Phil? Great play. I think Hodges has been really good in this quarter, Phil. I think he's turned the tide in Payneham's way. This is where it shows. The ruck work is irrelevant if you have got an extra man on the ground, Phil, and that's what Hodges has given them around the ball. He's so mobile, wins that ball on the wing without his opponent in sight, and they get the ball in. Sparkle finishes the good work, great composure by none, but that might be a team player of the day, Phil. That was a great goal.
Someone ring near mouth. We need a box of mouth guards, please.
There's 3 or 4 players involved in that. Well, I think we normally give it to the guy that finishes, but great lead-up work.
Yeah.
It was Prince Alfred are going to get a centre clearance. Much needed, Phil.
McNamara.
Good to see him back on the ground.
Yeah. Princes need the next one. And they need it pretty soon. Fumbled ball. High to the ball goes the balcony. Umpire does not concur. It doesn't matter anyway. Payneham will clear. Across the centre square it goes. Wagner, was he held off the ball? Umpire says no. Catalona's hand passed straight back to himself. He's wrapped up, can't get it open. Now it spills. Here's Wilkin. Through the middle mud patch. Finds an open red man at 50 in Charlick. His opponent is sort of holding his right shoulder. Let's see if that's an issue. That's Jordan Shirley. Right now it's with the other 13. And this is the guy who started the scoring in Garrels.
Haven't called him a lot lately, haven't we? But he
Not
has
one
had
of
a lot
my
of
best
service.
goal calls I've ever done.
No. Well, Phils was coughing up a lung. I
That's
called the
it.
goal of the day so far.
it.
But this is a big shot for goal, isn't it? Payneham have got all the momentum in this game.
Yeah.
It's one of those touchy distances. He's going to be kicking from about 45 with a slippery football. But he's a skilled player. Let's see what happens.
And maybe a little bit of breeze to work with. I'd give him half a silly chance. From 49.
Nope.
And barely scores. 3 goals, 9. 12 scoring shots apiece. The margin is 10 points. Into time on of the third quarter. A third quarter where Payneham to the non-scoring end have kicked 3 goals, 2. And this quarter, Prince Alfred have kicked 4 behinds. Not quite keeping's off time yet, but Falcons would love to have it at this margin to take into the final break. Looking for Hodges against Neal.
Great
In
mark.
the end, the fly comes from Schmidt. Called to play on. He dashes away. Penetrating kick inside 50. I saw some red hands up. No one can claim it though. Brazil at ground level manages to pick it up and snap it. Needed the bounce to go right. It went left. Another behind for Princes this quarter. They've hit double figures in the points tally. 3 goals, 10. The margin back to single figures. It's 9 points.
Let's see if McKenzie won't take any risks here on the kick out. We'll go wide to his numbers. Short and wide.
22 and a half gone. Princes have had it down the end of the field the last 2 minutes or so. Love to try and keep it there. McCauley couldn't get the grab. It heads towards, I'm just having a look at Shirley there.
A bit
See
of
if he's
skirmish.
going. Oh, no. Don't look at Shirley. There's further action going. Someone's going to need a new jumper in a sec. So who's that getting disrobed in the middle of the mud pit?
I think that was Pritchard and Wagner just having a little, how you going, mate?
I'm not sure if it was related, but the ball's with Jolly. Might have been last disposal rule. Never wastes a kick.
Jolly to Pitt
Yep.
many times in the last 10 years, always looking for each other.
Pitt now. Let's have a bit of speed. To go to the front of the screen, we've got a clunk. That's
Brazel.
Yep.
He's played well today, Brazel, for a full forward, centre forward that hasn't kicked a goal yet. He's been in the game all day, hasn't he, Phil? His ground level play's been good. He's provided an outlet kick for his team. He's had a couple of pings on goal, snaps, set shots.
Yeah.
Desperately need a goal here.
Absolutely must kick, and if he can, well, we'll be within a goal with three-quarter time imminent. I think he had a shot just after the halftime siren, which didn't score a goal, but that one does. Brazel has goal number 26 for the season in his 15th game. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, did Prince Alfred need that. That is the first goal for them since about the midway stage of the first quarter.
Yeah, much needed, and they're still in the game, aren't they?
They
in
are.
a low-scoring arm wrestle, that's all you got to do. You just got to somehow find the next goal, and then that margin tightens right up. Payneham, it's been their quarter, but Prince Alfred have had one more inside 50, Phil, and they've kicked how many behinds this quarter?
They have kicked 1 goal 5.
So 1 goal 5 for the quarter. So much needed there. Great mark by Brazel and great set shot. Big centre clearance coming up.
Yeah, 3-2 to 1-5. So Princes with the breeze have had more scoring shots. Payneham will come home with what there is left of it as the rain, the second layer of rain has ceased. Jolly put himself on the corner. So some very quick hands. Long kick towards the square, touched on the line. Garrels the soccer! 2 goals in 20 seconds and Princes are back in front. Hopefully on the Dartfish replay we'll get a chance to see the transition of that going forward.
I spoke in the second quarter, Phil, about when the defender goes back for the mark, he's got to take it because then he's out of position, the ball's loose on the ground and the forwards just pounce. So he's really unlucky there, Mackenzie. Did all the body work, but spilt the mark, and then Garrels is Johnny on the spot. Big goal, though, but it come from finally getting a centre clearance as well, Phil.
Yep.
So in a low-scoring game, Payneham have had all the running and find themselves down 3 points.
Yep. Something for Coach Jeremy Cheney to ponder. Of course, bigger fish to fry for the Falcons when they hit the finals in a couple of weeks. They cannot miss the finals, and we suspect with other results, mainly Port District doing a number on Brighton, holding the Bombers goalless till half-time, that it will take probably a miracle from here for Payneham to finish third. But you can only control your controllables, and that is winning here. Princes with it.
And they're away here.
Yeah, they got a chance. This sits up with Wilkin from 55. Nicely into the pocket. Spots up Archie Perks. Perks, Wilkin and Perks both debutants this year.
Doesn't like his chances here on the right foot. He's looking for a short pass, but if nothing's on, he may as well have a ping.
Yep. That's exactly what he's going to do. Yep. So it is Prince Alfred at the moment, 5 goals, 10. Are they going to add to that?
What's he done? He's kicked it, has he?
He's kicked it. While you're adding a goal, add another one because it's 6 goals, 10. That is 3 in a row. So talk about a game flipping. You don't kick a goal for over a half of footy and then 3 in a row.
Yeah, wow. Surprising, like I said, Payneham have had all the running this quarter, and then just sort of out of nowhere, Brazel got it started with the great contested mark and goal, and then they've got a couple of centre clearances, found a couple of loose players, and that's just all about the finish, hard up against the boundary line with the drop punt. That's a fantastic finish and a great finish to this quarter for Prince Alfred, sort of come out of nowhere. Now all the pressure back on Payneham.
Coming out of nowhere, the crowd and the players, that was all vacated earlier on. They're all huddling under the interchange bench. But the Red Men are up and about. They've led it every change.
Another centre
And at the
clearance.
moment, look, they're going to lead it this one. McNamara. He's been busy lately out the back. Dawson under pressure from Brazel, gets the kick away, but it won't be touched. Hold the phone, folks. The siren has gone. But that kick was out of bounds before the siren went, or at least as I heard it, which means it's going to be a Hail Mary shot from fifth. I mean, why not? You got the ball, you got a shot.
Same player that just kicked it from the same spot. Is this... Who's got the football?
Archie.
Is that Perks again? He just kicked it from this spot. Let's see what he
have
can
a
do.
He's had the cider when you kicked the goal from. He's kicked it into the man on the mark, I think, partially, and threat averted.
Anticlimax.
But what a phenomenal last 15 minutes of football. Goals going everywhere. So let me run this past you. Princes kicked 3, Payneham kicked 5 in a row, and then Princes have kicked the last 3, and they'll take a 9-point lead into three-quarter time. You're with Adam Jeffries, Phil, and the whole Filming Footy crew. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll get some scores around the ground, some more stats, and the big final quarter after the break. You're watching the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Welcome back. Three-quarter time here at Payneham. There is a lot happening around the Adelaide Footy League at the moment. But Adam, any three-quarter time stats that you wanted to share just as I get my head around a score I just saw?
Yeah, just quickly, the game swung in that last 5 minutes, didn't it? It looked like Prince Alfred were under all sorts of pressure. I saw McNamara come to the bench injured. I saw Payneham dominating. And then PAC had the last 5 or 6 inside 50s, took marks, kicked goals, had another set shot on the siren. They could have kicked another. So kicked 3 late ones in time on, which would have really irked Coach Cheney after his side fought so hard to get back in the lead, had a goal and a half buffer, and they've let Prince Alfred kick 3 quick goals. So we have a game on our hands. And as we said at the start of the day, Phil, there's much on the line for both clubs. So we're going to have a scrap. The game just started to open up again, didn't it? 3 goals to each team. Who's going to find the 2 or 3 goals? Who's going to have their small forward bob up and win the game for them in this last quarter?
Yep, so some scores around the grounds. Brighton and Port District. It was Port District 35 at quarter time, 48 at half time. 5 minutes into the final quarter, they lead 10-8, 68 to 4-9, 33, which is not great news for Payneham. Probably good news for Princes. Broadview and Teachry Gully, it is Teachry Gully 51, Broadview 25. That's 11 minutes into the final quarter. Teachry Gully are on the verge of breaking that 8-game losing streak, and that would be a win that might just get them off the bottom. Here's a score that when I saw it, I had to get Adam to have a look to tell me that I wasn't misreading it. At the moment, St. Peter's lead Glenunga. That is correct. St. Peter's lead Glenunga 77 to 68, I think I had it. It was 5 points the margin, whenever I was writing down there. 5 points the margin in favour of St. Peter's. That would be the upset of the year, but that is so St. Peter's to pull one out of the bag late.
That is
on
very
the verge of relegation.
St. Peter's looking at relegation square in the face, playing the top undefeated team. I will just go knock them off.
Yeah.
Not that hard, is it? Still plenty of footy to be played there at the Caterer, though. I reckon they'll still have a nervous 15 minutes or so, the St. Peter's supporters.
By no means are they in any right to feel like they're home and hosed in that one. What would you be talking about if you're coaching at the moment?
Look, if I'm Payneham, I'm happy with how I played, bar that last 5 minutes. If I'm Craig Pitt, I'm really happy with the resilience my team showed to come back and kick those 3 quick goals. And it just shows that in a low-scoring game, you're never far out of it. So even when you're 9-10 points down, you feel like you're a long way off. You just got to keep playing. It'll be interesting to see. Looks like Wagner's gone into the ruck and Hodges has gone forward. I thought Hodges was really good in the ruck for Payneham. And I'm looking at my man, Jackson Martin, playing inside 50 field. He could potentially be the match winner for Payneham. Let's see what happens. Should be an exciting last quarter.
Well, both sides have shown enough to suggest they could win this game, but only one can. Princes have the lead. Payneham have the wind. And it's just a 3-point difference. Neil gets a thump. It will be Nunn, who manages just to get the kick away before being tackled. Pretty much back to where it started. Nothing in terms of clear possession. Spills back to Nunn. Another possession. He's your man. Jackson Martin has it attacking edge of the centre wing. Inside 50 has a target. This is Wagner. I don't think he's kicked a goal today, Wagner, but gee, he set a few up. Kick that one a miscommunication in terms of where the lead was.
But even Wagner getting free there, Phil, he's playing in the ruck and he's working Neil over, just getting forward of the ball. So this is where Neil's going to have to be super smart and just make sure he gets goal side of his opponent as soon as they've lost possession.
Almost a bit of confusion who was in ruck there. On that occasion, Spence with the kick forward. It's 20 metres out from the Payneham goal. Princes are just clearing it out in sheer desperation at the moment. Ollie Clark, was he legged? Or was it? That's going to be a Payneham ball to Catalano. Too far out to score. I said from this angle, looks like a short distance, but it is actually a fair way. Towards the goal scorer it goes. Trenor at ground level couldn't hang on to it too long. Just a kick around the body that could go anywhere, and it went.
Is that not 15? No.
Not 15. Anthony Giannini grabbed it, but ruled not the required distance. Lights coming on here at Payneham, at least on the balcony. Spence first to the ball. Quick hand pass before getting tackled. No one can get clear hand pass or kick just at the moment. Campbell's kick straight into his opponent. Catalano has it. He's grabbed straight away. A hot footy inside Paynham's forward 50. And I'll tell you what, would you turn the lights on right now?
Yes, I would.
I guess we don't pay the electricity bill.
No, but it's quite dark here.
Thankfully, no issue with the clash jumpers. We have no issue telling. And I should add, for those of you watching the screen at home, it is darker here than it is on your screen. Pritchard clears it for Princes. Ollie Clark battling Haynes. Here's the chance. First inside 50 for the Red Men. Brazil sort of a standing start, and let's concede. That was conceded from a long way out. So the margin is, I apologise, I said it was less than a goal. It's actually 10 points. Especially with that. From 9 to 10, that's the opening score of the final quarter. So Payneham do have some work to do. They have it. Defensive 50. Happy to try and work it around. I reckon they've used up their quota. Karma says you do it too much more, you're going to cough it up. Now there's a free downfield, or there should be a free downfield. Or was advantage paid? Advantage was paid. There's a Falcon down in his haunches in sand zone.
Interesting one, that, because it wasn't really an advantage, was it?
No.
Because they had the play anyway, so it's either a downfield free kick or nothing at all. Interesting one.
I reckon there might be a question being asked about that right now. Throw in. Payneham side of the wing. Neil the tap looking for Jolly. Giannini getting in the way. Strong work shown by Sumner. So it's just going up and down the wing here at the moment. And as soon as it ends up with Shirley, he's tackled to the ground. Stoppage. 4 gone of the final quarter. Just the point to Princes. They've led at every change. 19 at the first break, 6 at the second. Payneham got in front. And got in front by about 10 points, I think, before Princes kicked 3 in a row to lead by 9 at the last break. Will be the last game to finish, so we should be able to give you the other results and a ladder for most teams. As we wait for something to emerge from here. Perks was fighting for the footy, but unable to pick it up. But it has got some, what I still call it yardage here, some meterage.
Yardage. Old school, Phil.
Just my American sports background, more likely. I was born in the decimal era, despite some thoughts otherwise. Anthony Giannini, that's a high kick. And again, pretty easy for Macaulay to wrap it up. So no one threatening to score at the moment. Played a lot between the 50s. That's about to change. Hugo Kelly has it. Has a chance to centre it. They fly. Oh, they flew into each other. A bit of talking and it should have been a Prince Alfred mark. Now Payneham have some numbers. Wagner has been a busy lad. Off half back. Beautiful vision to Campbell. I think that was a lucky off the edge of the foot kick that found the target. In the end, it's with Rahui. Rahui's kick on the back. He's got to pick it up. Remember to kick it. Chris Stanzik. A coast-to-coast play for Payneham. And we're within a goal.
It was the kick from Wagner, wasn't it? If that's the coast-to-coast player of the day, do we give it to Wagner or do we give it to the finisher? It was Wagner's kick, I think, to Campbell, that he really chiseled that ball up the guts. And they got the overlap, got the one-on-one inside 50. Great body work by Chris Stanzik. He's been good today. I think that's his third goal.
I think you've got to give it to Chris Stanzik.
Yeah, and that's his third goal, I believe. He's set up a couple of others and missed one or two others as well. So he's probably been the best forward on the ground. And they've plonked him one-on-one inside 50 now, knowing that. He's just that good size, isn't he? He's not too tall, he's not too small, he's a good mark, he's a good ground-level player. So good move by Coach Cheney.
I was going to say with a 4-point margin, we've got the close one, but we haven't. 17-minute mark of the final quarter. You can't get closer than even Stevens.
What does a draw do for St. Peter's? Does that help them?
I reckon it's got to help somehow. Probably depends on where their percentage sits with Brighton. I'm going to have to look it up.
Great intercept mark here by Coach Pitt after another centre clearance from Payneham, just to steady the ship a little bit. You can see that ball hold up a little bit there, Phil, so certainly a little bit of breeze going to the left.
Ollie Clark drew the opponent. Got it out to Wilkin. He's looking for Charlie. Manages to break free. Bouncing ball inside Princess forward 50. How will it sit? Beautiful work by Dodson just to keep his body over the ball so it didn't head off in weird directions into a Prince's lap. Will be a throw-in. Rare stoppage in that pocket today. A lot of play on the outer side. I think teams know that the breeze bringer get back a bit of.
Never gets played in front of the commentators, does it, Phil? It's always on the other side.
Yeah. Well, who's played in front of us? We probably can't see it with the balcony and monitors, but it's in that pocket. Brazel tried to take it out without success. Spencer's kick straight to the opponent's third. Prince was all load and go again. They have the 4-point lead. The rain is back for the third time today. And Wagner has taken a pretty important mark. They're feeling a bit sore. They're taking a little bit longer to get up. That's Brazel. Spence has Shirley out on the other side. Now it sets up. Sparkle is in pursuit. It sits nicely. He tries to bounce the ball. It's the audaciousness
and we've got
of bouncing the ball on the day like today.
You call the footy, Phil. I'll watch the fight behind the play.
You watch the fight. They've got a fight. Oh, fantastic. It has had a bit of everything today. Including comments from the boundary.
Yeah, so unfortunately there was a little bit of a sling tackle potentially on that holding the ball, and they didn't like the attention. A little bit of a skirmish, and Payneham were giving away the free kick, a relieving free kick on the wing.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Plenty of excitement here, Phil.
Yep. Got to keep it calmer if that voice will go again. But Princes have gone forward and they found Siebels.
Siebels is playing full back for most of the day, Phil. Not sure if he's just drifted.
This is an interesting kick.
He's just within range, I think.
It's right on the edge, isn't it?
Big play there, wasn't it? Looked like Payneham were away on that far side. Tried to take the bounce, and now the ball's rebounded.
Quick score update from Spock. Spock of gold. They lead Glenunga by a goal. The undefeated Rams. Their record under threat. This kick has missed everything but just a point.
Yeah, it's a nice long kick, Siebels, but with the slippery footy, fair bit of rain now starting to come across. Pressure on this kick out from McKenzie. Can't afford to turn it over. I'll be looking to go long to numbers.
Well, he's going to come to the open side where there's just one number, and it's number 1 in Dodson. But he was so open, you couldn't ignore him, surely. He said, I'm going to kick it this way, which is good. That's where the goals are. Puts the bird into the Sharon. Nye tries to get it forward. Couldn't quite get the proper boot. Will come back and spill out of bounds. Is that a last disposal?
What's he paid here?
Yep.
Yes, he has.
I say I don't think it was touched. Rain is coming down, and it's as heavy as it's been all game.
Yes, it certainly is. This is going to make for an exciting finish, Phil.
Nothing is certain. Minavini has got it on to Haynes. Across the middle. Pinpoint passing in these conditions is pretty impressive.
Long.
Yes, the long kick. Who's there? Who's at the
It's
back? It's your man!
Thank you.
Jackson Martin has put the Falcons back in front, as predicted by our prophet, Adam Jeffries. It's a 1 point ball game.
Thank you, Phil. Great call by you there. That was an exciting goal. Wagner's come into the game, hasn't he? That was a huge kick. That ball's travelled 65 metres to the top of the square, carried longer than Prince Alfred thought it would. Johnny on the spot. I've been calling for Jackson Martin to go inside 50 and kick a goal. I'm almost going to say that's the player today for 2 reasons: Jackson Martin's goal and my call that he'd get it. Yep. Geez, Payneham are playing a tough game. They're maintaining the ball. Short kicks down backfield. They're playing a risky brand, but they got through, didn't they? And they've kicked the goal that got them back in front. But there's still lots of time left to go in this game.
All right. So how are you going with your 2 sets of award wins?
Oh, yeah, she's on.
12 minutes gone. You got a little bit of time left. I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of time. Let me just have a quick check what the heck is happening at Cater Oval. It is still a 6-point lead at the 22-minute mark to Spock.
Another centre clearance for Payneham, Phil. They've dominated that category today.
Yeah. Which is just as well, because whatever Princes have got it, they've done pretty well with the rare ones they've got. They have it. Going in board, I think that's pretty well, because I'm not sure if that was kick was going to come into. And in the end of stoppage. Actually, Spock, 23 minutes gone, tied up. 8-9 to 8-9, and I can tell you Cater Oval is just a mud pit.
Oh, yeah, that centre wicket at Cater is a beauty on days like today.
We've got the monitor up. We'll give you score updates as that what happens, because that's just huge in the context of the season for St. Peter's. And with that, Broadview and Tea Tree Gully had so we've got a 1-point game here, a tied ball game at St. Peter's.
Although have they
but
kicked a goal?
I think it's tied no more, because Spock have kicked another one. We all thought Spock would be competitive and would fade away, but they know their season. A win here might just be enough for them. But more about that post-match.
You can see that breeze now as well, Phil. That rain is sweeping to the left of screen now. Yeah. So it's Payneham get one more goal. Not sure I can see Prince Alfred getting 2.
We're only at the 30.5-minute mark. Is it too early to say next goal wins?
Almost leaning that way. But we've seen a lot of twists and turns in this match.
Payneham
getting back on top.
Every time you think one team's got the momentum to carry it away, it flips. Right now it's Princes who'd feel a little under siege, but they get the clearance for the moment. But here's the thing. This is where the last disposal rule has really changed football on a day like today.
Yeah, you can't just kick it out,
You can't just kick for touch, because you end up coming straight back at you.
And we've got a downfield free here as well, so Payneham again going inside 50.
Well, they'll go across field. Jordan Shirley has it. What's he got? 4 players behind him. So pretty clogged up forward area. Hodges, Tenepina, something here might be best on ground. There's your man, couldn't quite grasp it towards that goal line. Sock it off the ground straight to Macaulay. Useful point, we'll find out. The margin has doubled from 1 to 2. Continue a useful point. Spock have kicked a useful point. They lead by 7. 25 gone, and they got a shot on goal. It's looking great if you're a St. Peter's fan.
There you go.
So Jolly, in fact, we found a free after Jolly has kicked it. It's been marked downfield, but it will come back. A moment to take a breath. It sort of calling it like it's 25 minutes. It is actually only 15. Plenty of time for either team to produce that winning goal. Off hands, out of bounds, throw in. Umpire had to go and fetch the footy himself because there is no one on that side.
Nobody over there. Where's our mate with the sunnies on?
Oh, there's 2 on the bench, but not the mate with the sunnies. I think he's taken off to the car or around here somewhere if he's smart. The balcony, by the way, has filled up considerably since the rain started, as you'd expect.
Good spot to watch footy here at Payneham, isn't it, up here?
Love it.
Always has been.
First Adelaide footy game, league game I called, minor round was here. Great spot. And the Cheese Kransky with the lock is absolutely divine. Here's a chance! Is that the win? Oh, did it? No, I'm waiting on the goal umpire here.
Umpire paid here.
It's
no,
a goal.
Paid the goal.
Okay. Kristanzik again.
Was it paid to Kristanzik or did it already go through? Can we get the goal line replay on that one?
Yep. Let's go. What he obviously didn't do was kick it on the line.
So it's skidded. No, he's kicked that, Kristanzik. No, but Kristanzik was unsure.
I think what he's saying is, did I just deny you a goal?
Okay, he's not saying,
I kicked it, I'm sorry that I'm a goal hog and I denied it.
Yeah, so we're going to give that goal to Kristanzik,
yeah,
who's been a very good player.
And the siren has gone at Caterer.
And they've beaten Glenunga.
And hell has frozen over. The Rams have had their first loss of the season. They can be beaten. And St. Peter's, 9-10-64, have beaten Glenunga 8-9-57. That will have relegation ramifications, which I'll try and give you later in this once this game is done. But what an effort by St. Peter's.
So what's going to happen here, Phil? Can Prince Alfred find another goal and tighten this one up again?
Look, if Princes had kicked the goal, I thought maybe Payneham could respond. I'm just not sure it's going to work the other way.
Yeah, there's a big mountain to climb.
I think it's
now,
almost enough.
Payneham need one more goal to secure it, though, don't they? If they get it, they can start to get some numbers back and play some tempo football.
Yeah, I don't think Payneham have kicked a goal to the right of screen in this game.
Princes, sorry. No, Princes, no, they haven't. And Payneham get free
and
again.
They've got to kick 2, maybe 3, depending on the bounce of this ball.
Ooh. He's got a beautiful long leg on him, Wagner, hasn't he? He's 60 out there, Phil, and cleared the line. He's got a little bit of a breeze at his back, but late in the day with a heavy football, it's a big kick, isn't it? Still in it, though. If that had gone through, Princes were in trouble. They've still got possession. Right man with it.
They've still got it. I mean, they get 1 goal, and its next goal does win.
And there's still time. We've still got 6 or 7 minutes to go.
Yep. Low-scoring quarter for mine. We've had, I think, 2 goals kicked. In fact, so we've had 3. A 9-goal deficit to a 9-goal lead for Payneham.
Great tackle there by young Charlie.
Here's Prince's chance. It's with the coach.
And it's a goal.
He stopped it.
Oh, we got another twist, Phil.
I'm not sure the voice is going to hold up, but we got a grandstand finish. Prince Alfred, 7-12-54, Payneham 8-9-57. That is on the hard ultra zero carb scoreboard.
Great tackle there by young Charlick on Giannini. That's an old vet against a young up-and-coming kid, and he just held on, didn't let him go. Ball spilled out. And again, Coach Pitt, he's had a great season, Phil. What a finish by him. And it's game on. 3 points of difference.
Absolutely game on. Just going to have a look. I can't look away from this one to tell you what's happening between Broadview and Tea Tree Gully. Broadview, I think, we're trailing by over 4 goals in a low-scoring day. This is over the shoulder. It's all going the Falcons' way right now, but no room for error. An error, a turnover. We've seen plenty of transition football. Catalano, inside the 50-metre arc it goes, into the little mud patch, about 20 out. Trying to charge through was Campbell. Holding the ball. Okay, Princes have it as we tick in the time on. Still plenty of time. But you'd feel the pressure, especially if you were in red.
Oh.
And that's going to be, that's a little crude.
Yeah, that's a 25-metre penalty. Good umpiring.
Hand pass on to Schmidt. Suddenly it's towards inside 50. It is inside 50. Oh, some ricochet football off a couple of Payneham players. Ends up with Shirley. He can't get rid of the ball.
Oof. Didn't hear the
And
whistle
it's a
go.
stoppage.
Nervous time here for the Payneham defence. Prince Alfred again pressing.
Now, I reckon he tried to play for that and he got it. Well, Brazel is, well, let's see the replay.
I'd like to see a replay. I thought potentially it was there, but the umpire was on the wrong side, Phil. So let's see what happens here. He's over the ball, Brazel. Not a lot in that, but we've seen them paid a lot of times.
Oh, look.
So,
Yeah. I mean, and we didn't see the other arm.
no.
Whereas the umpire did. And at the end of the day, the umpire's always going to be right. This is for the lead, and you wouldn't want it in a better pair of hands if you're a Prince Alfred fan. In range, slide angle, goes long from 49, it's going to get there!
What's he done? It's a goal.
Prince's back in front, they've kicked the last two. They had not kicked a single goal to the right of screen all game, and at the 15-minute mark of the final quarter, they've nabbed 2.
What a finish by Brazel, though. You could argue it was a 50-50 free kick. Those happen in games, but what you've got to do, Phil, is you've got to finish.
Here's the thing. Man on the mark is 40. He's kicked it well before the man on the mark.
Yes.
And I'm thinking he's kicked it too far out.
And he's backed his range, and he's got it there. So what does Coach Cheney do now? So Payneham have been really good at the centre bounce all day, Phil. So what they need to do is set up and get a clearance. Yeah. Prince Alfred, Coach Pitt will look to put himself. He's on the ball now. He'll go behind the ball after this stoppage to try and create a +1 and slow this down with only a couple of minutes to go.
All of a sudden, Princes look winners. They go inside 50. To the top of the square, Ollie Clark is lurking, tapping it back. And Payneham have to concede.
I thought that was a throw. Trying to back it goes. Look for Mackenzie to go down the guts now. There's not going to be a long time to go. I'm surprised if he goes wide, he'll go long and strong down the guts.
He'll play on. That's exactly what he does. Has almost got it to the centre. Prince Alfred with a 4-point lead. Spence kicks a fortune, lucks a fortune to Campbell. It's a one-on-one contest inside the Falcons. Kristanzik's been great all day. Free. He's escaped by the boundary. The bouncing ball bounces.
Still in play.
Doesn't bounce. It stays straight. It hasn't got out until now.
They'll take a stoppage there. He's looked dangerous, Kristanzik, at inside 50, hasn't he? That's been a good move by Coach Cheney, leaving him up there one-on-one because he's looked really slippery. Great match awareness there by Payneham. They knew they had to go up the middle. They had their numbers there. They won the ball, and now they're deep inside 50.
Final, Tea Tree Gully have beaten Broadview.
Oof.
Saints have beaten Glenunga. Prince's lead here at the 23.5-minute mark of a low-scoring final quarter. Schmidt has it. No prior opportunity is the decision. It's about 30 metres away. Rahui's kick is high and was it touched? It's a throw-in.
Yeah, it's a throw-in. So still in a dangerous position, but there's so many numbers around the ball field. This is where Payneham need to try and extract some people away from the ball and maybe try and get a repeat entry.
There's 36 players on the football field. 34 are within 55 metres of the Payneham goal.
Here we go.
Campbell, the snap! Oof. I thought, how was he going to get the angle? He got too much angle on the kick.
Prince Alfred will be disappointed. He had no opponent on him and he just came through that stoppage and got the snap on goal, but it's missed. And it's going to be late now, Phil. Can Jolly find a target and hold this ball up?
Usually he's the short kicking master. Is he going to go long here? He's going to play the percentages. Go long to your ruckman by the boundary. I assume Summer and all of that. It was wasn't touched.
Oh, wow.
It was not.
No, the umpire's intervening here. I think
boundary
it was.
Umpire's going to say it was touched.
I think it was touched.
No,
he's paying.
Okay.
Wow. I'm not sure that's correct, but.
Well,
Payneham
boundary umpire and field umpire, unless there was an overrule there somewhere.
One last chance, Phil. I think the siren's imminent.
It's at ground level. You reckon 2 stoppages and Princes have got it 1. This is the first one. 25.5. There's almost an eerie silence just for a moment. The throw up probably wasn't
What's
the
he
best.
paid here?
Umpire's found a free to Prince Alfred.
Over the shoulder in the ruck contest to Neil.
It's a good effort to manage to achieve that. He's a tall man to get over the shoulder to. How's your prizes doing?
Yeah, I'm on edge here, Phil.
Okay.
Been an entertaining game in the conditions.
Neil will play again the percentages. Although the last time they did that, no one touched it and Payneham got the ball back. They've got it momentarily. Into that pocket as Hodges beat 2. It spills by the boundary.
Here we go.
Hand pass, not sure is the right thing to do. It's going to be considered for a point. 3-point margin becomes 2.
Can't be long to go, Phil. I think Prince Alfred just need to win 1 possession in the middle of the ground here. Long, win a contest, it should be game over.
What a day of drama in the Adelaide Footy League. We knew Broadview and Teatrick Gully would have repercussions. Teatrick Gully have broken 8-game losing streak, beat the Tigers at Broadview. Spocker beating Glenunga. Prince Alfred would want to win to ensure they're in Div 1 next year, regardless of what happens next week. Last chance for Payneham. Inside 50 through some hands. Everybody from black and white wants ball. Everyone in red is size relief when it's a ball up. I like how they throw it up. Doesn't waste any time. None! All to an open Spence! And has kicked it behind. It's 1. It's 1 point. Scoreboard's quick. So even a draw now is not out of the equation. You've got a draw scenario in your prizes? All right, Jolly. It's going to go long. 61-60 Prince Alfred. Spence has been great all game, but he'll rue that missed chance, I think. It'll be a stoppage. I reckon Payneham are about 3 kicks away. It's been as far out of their goal as it's been in the last few minutes. They got a tap. Hodges, was he held on too long? Umpire lets it go. Fair enough. Carried over the boundary. 28 minutes gone. 8:13 to 8:12 on the hard Ultra Zero Carb scoreboard. Why would you ever want a countdown clock in this game? Not knowing when the siren's going to go. Everybody on the edge of their seats. Here's another chance. Giannini's kicking. I reckon that's your ball game. Neil's marked. He'll take some time. He'll kick it long. And it'll be too far for Payneham. Hot footy. It's right in front of us now. Nicely done by Perks. There's your siren. And Prince Alfred fans, we will see you in Division 1 next year. After a struggle in the second half of the season, the Red Men, who are most unlikely to play finals, I don't think they mathematically can now. but they'll finish towards the end of the season with a victory to savour. In a game that ebbed back and forth, Prince Alfred 8-13-61, Payneham 8-12-60. What a slog. Both teams had their moments. Adam is heading down to give out some prizes. And this is one of the sadder parts of the game, obviously, when the local fans feel the need to vent. Earlier today, well, all through the day, we've had the women's grand finals, Divisions 3 to 6. Division 6, Marion completed an undefeated season, beating Houghton 46 to 6. Division 5, Athelston's dream of an undefeated season premiership went out the window. They lost to Edwardstown 2-3-15. Division 4, Mitcham beat Scotch 24 to 8, and right now, 17 minutes in the third quarter, it's Anglevale 44, Eastern Park just the one behind. So the Owls on their way to an Adelaide Footy League Women's Premiership. We've got two results for you. The other one, we sort of knew the result a fair while back, which was Port District and Brighton. Just to give you some final score on that one. It was a 50-point win to Port District. So Spock have beat Glenunga, Teacher Galley have beaten Broadview. Princes have won here by a point, as we're watching the Dartfish highlights. So Glenunga is 16-1. Port District with the win will stay in third. In fact, Port District have, with those results, Port District have secured the double charts. So we know our top three. It's going to be Glenunga, Sacred Heart, Port Districts. Payneham and Golden Grove will meet in the elimination final. And the real interest in the final round will be relegation. Okay, ready to go down to the field with Adam Jeffries and our prize winners.
All right, welcome down here. There's a few unhappy Payneham people after that late one, but what a win by Prince Alfred. I thought they were done a couple of times, but that's huge, and that avoids relegation for them, so well done. It's been an up and down season, but staying in Div 1, well done. We've got our award winners, our Neo Morph mouthguard player of the day is Josh Garrels for the great goal that happened in the first goal of the game, 5 minutes in, well done. Our Belgravia New Balance best player of the day was Tyson Brazel. Thought he played a great game. We'll talk to him in a second. Our Moseley Bar and Kitchen best team man was Will Charlie. I thought it was one of his great team performance by him today. Let's start with you, Tyson. You're the villain. I thought the free kick was there, but it was more about the set shot and your overall performance as well, and a tough day for tall forwards. I thought you were fantastic coming up the ground, weren't anchored to the goal square, so well done on your performance. Tell us about that last goal.
Yeah, thanks very much. It was a great win. Just managed to go back, put it through. Pretty happy with that, so especially on Payneham's deck. No better place to do it, so...
Yeah, they were going bonkers up on the balcony there, mate, but it was a great set shot and well done by you. Josh Garrels, tell us about the goal. Were you trying to kick it to Tyson at the top of the square? You're like, nah, I've got this, mate. I'll just snap it home from 45.
I think Truck put it over my head and kind of was running back and wasn't sure if I was just going to run in, but I saw a Payneham player there, so I decided to turn around and wind curved back nicely, so yeah, that was good.
Nah, you made it look easy, but to snap that far out, that was fantastic. Well done on the goal of the day. And Will Charlie, good pad the way boy, love you mate, keep up the good work. Best team man today. I thought your tackle in the middle of the ground that set up the goal to Pity was fantastic. Well done to you and a great team game. How does that feel to avoid relegation?
Yeah, no, it's good to get across the line there, stay in Div 1 for next year and get back to the pub.
Very humble, best team man. Well done to these three boys. Great win for PAC. A little bit out of nowhere. It was an arm wrestle all day, but got the chocolates in the end with the set shot from Brazel late. Well done to these boys. Get in and have a shower. She's chilly. Thanks, boys. Back to the combox. Well done, mate. So, quick photo, boys, and we'll let you in.
Thank you very much, Adam, and congratulations to all the award winners as we get the obligatory photos. So have a look more at the Dartfish highlights, of which there were many. In a game which is ebbed and flowed. As the Princes fans getting around Ben Siebels. I think had a milestone match today. And Princes will be buoyed with the news that they are safe in Div 1.
Whew.
So,
bit happening down there, Phil.
I can imagine. Do that very well, Adam. All right. So we don't have a Sacred Heart Golden Grove score, but I don't think that makes too much difference bar one particular thing. To wrap up what's happened, we've had a 1-point win here to Prince Alfred, combined with a 50-point win by Port District over Brighton. The top three is sorted.
Yes.
Glenunga, Sacred Heart, Port District. Payneham, Norwood Union, Golden Grove will play in the elimination final.
Where that will be?
Where? Depends on what Golden Grove did today and what happens next week. Prince Alfred, technically, if they win by 350 points next week, might play finals, but
won't happen.
Won't happen.
But they'll be very pleased
But
to
they're
be
in
out of that
Div 1.
relegation battle.
And they have this as a great highlight. I actually think that unless Brighton and Broadview tie, Spock are now safe.
Yeah.
So Spock are on...
We weren't counting on them winning today, were we? That was... No.
Spock are on 12 points, Brighton 11, Broadview and Tea Tree Gully 10. So I guess Spock are not quite, but Broadview and Brighton have to play each other.
So if Brighton win next week, are they safe?
Yeah, the winner of Brighton and Broadview is safe, and the loser is relegated.
100%. That's just a flat-out relegation game now, isn't it? Broadview and Brighton next week, which we'll be calling, Phil.
We will be calling. Tea Tree Gully is the interesting one. Tea Tree Gully get Golden Grove. If they win that, they're on 12.
And they'll probably be safe.
So, yeah. So, look, Spock are not quite safe. The only way they go down is on percentage.
Who does Spock play next week?
So, Spock get Port District. Tea Tree Gully get Golden Grove. Payneham travel to Glenunga. Coach Grimer during the week. Whoa, watch out. Sacred Heart and Prince Alfred round out the round.
Still going to be a fascinating round next week, isn't it?
Once we get some percentages settled, all eyes will be on relegation, and then the week after, into finals.
And the surprise result almost here as well, Phil. I thought when Payneham got 9 points up, with sort of 8 to 10 minutes to go, but then out of nowhere, Pitt kicks the goal, and the game changes again, doesn't it? That's what we saw today. We thought we saw teams on top, but only with that sort of 1.5 goal buffer.
Yeah. Here it is right now.
And that's a great finish by Coach Pitt. It was a great tackle by Will Charlick. I wanted to give that young fella a mention because I think he plays solid football week in, week out for Prince Alfred. And he was the one, Phil, the free kick. I've got to say, I think it's there.
Okay.
It's certainly, it's one of those ones. If you're a red man, you think that's definitely there. If you're the opposition, you don't. But we've seen that paid a lot in football. Brazel's got his head over the ball. He's got the ball in his hands. The tackle's just slipped a little bit high. Yes, it's a fraction unlucky, but it's all about the finish as well, isn't it? It's not just the free kick. Brazel had to go back and finish that. And I gave him best on ground, Phil, because I thought that of all the tall forwards in the game today, he was the one dominant one, and he was the one that stood up. He often plays the deep forward role, Tyson, and he stays close to the big sticks, but I thought he roamed far and wide today, gave his team an outlet kick, and he's proven to be the match winner. So in a day that was really tough for forwards, I chose him as my best on ground. I thought Payneham had the better midfielders and probably would have won the awards, but well done to Brazel.
It could have so easily have gone the other way with Jed Spence's shot late. And then he would have been in the prizes.
And
I'm
Spence
pretty
was
sure.
in the prizes all the way. He had a lot of the ball today and played a great game.
That's how the cookie crumbles. So for Princes, they get one more game hosting Sacred Heart next week, and then they can enjoy the postseason celebrations. Payneham, well, they live to fight another day. No catastrophic result from today, except possibly the injury to Nick Kelly. We'll find out about that through the week. Alrighty. Want to thank our Filming Footy sponsors, Archie's Footwear, Belgravia, New Balance, Dartfish, of course, with the beanie for the best player. Nearmouth Mouthguards, what did you choose as the magic moment?
It was the first goal of the game. Josh Garrells, the snap. We didn't forget that one. It was a fantastic effort.
Glad we didn't play the highlight. Hard with the commentary. Hard and Sportal with the score. Hard with the scoreboard. Wakefield Sports Exercise Clinic with the Interchange Farmers Leap Winery, of course, the coach of the week. Police Credit Union, the Interchange from the Boundary. Moseley Bar and Kitchen, the Best Team Award. You can keep all up to date with the Adelaide Footy League stuff. The weekly wrap, plenty to talk about. Women's premierships, grand finals. Men's will have teams relegated to talk about, and the last round of Div 1 coming up all tomorrow night. And Between the Posts, we'll then cover it in greater detail during the week. Adam, some final thoughts on a fascinating day of footy?
Yeah, it was fascinating. Certainly keeping an eye on the other grounds as well, which we're entitled to do with the relegation battle. I thought keeping an eye on the other game. But it was a great game of footy, Phil. With the conditions and the score, you might say it wasn't all that exciting, but it was exciting. There were some great highlights. Both teams really cracking in. It was a great game, and well done to Prince Alfred. It can go either way. Big win for them, staying in Division 1. Well done.
Adam, you and I will be at Broadview next week for Brighton and Broadview.
That will be a good game.
But our filming footy family, what we call the stream team, which is Hugo, our producer, James on camera, Elias as well, they're going to do the women's grand finals next week.
Which is good.
And I'm away. So I just want to say to those three, thank you so much for a fun, action-packed year. It really
getting
is
a little emotional here, Phil.
No, I just wanted to make sure that I said my thanks, because it is a lot of fun doing this.
Yes.
And it is the crew that helped make it that way. So, but they're all back for the finals.
Yeah, I've got to see Hugo again. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly
okay.
Right. So I'm Phil Hurden saying thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're in the C's. Prince Alfred stayed unbeaten, won by 80 points. In the B's, Payneham pretty much claimed a finals berth. And in the A's, Prince's assured they'll be in Div 1 next season. We'll be back from Broadview to bring you all of the exciting last round in Division 1 in the Adelaide Footy League. You've been watching the Adelaide Footy League thanks to Filming Footy. Let's see how Princes celebrated the result. Good night.